Welcome to our third Quiddcast. It is Wednesday, November 16th. Hopefully we'll be consistent with doing these at the same time. Damn, look at that. 7 people already. They went from 0 to 7.
We're so popular. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like the same people.
Faithful following.
We have a faithful following.
Right. Those are the only people that we're good. We had to just get everybody on. Let everybody just talk at once. It'll be fun.
Could you imagine that? You get like get like 20 people. It could be done. I mean, the Collectors Council, that's a fairly large group who typically joins in on that, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't think it had. I think one time it might be fun just for a bunch of, peers to sit around and chat. Oh, we have a first time here.
First time here. Huh, well, welcome.
Welcome.
A little bit of
welcome.
For anybody new, a little bit about what we do. Spyder and I have been on the app for quite some time. She's been here longer than I have. She's been here 6 years. I've been here 5 years. She's a 2016 user. I'm a 2017 user. iOS versus Android. So a little bit of history. Quid was on iOS first.
I'm iOS.
Yeah.
See?
Well, Quid was iOS first, and so I couldn't even join if I wanted to.
I know.
2017 is when it went Android, and that's when I joined. So I've been here ever since.
And Android was always behind. It's like now Android might be a little ahead. So swap.
It depends. Well, they're ahead in some things, but they're like, I still can't compare collections. Like on iOS, you can compare collections. I don't know what you need. Like if you're like, hey, show me I need some of your Trek. I'd be like, well, what is it? You have to tell me because I have no way to compare.
Okay, that's annoying. Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. To get an iOS, obviously.
My daughter tried to tell me that. I don't think so. Plus, my daughter just gave me she gave me the Galaxy Watch. Just because.
Nice. Just because.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Well, she worked at little insider thing. Most people who work at phone stores like T-Mobile, Sprint, or whatever, they get phones and watches and what they have and what they're trying to sell you. They get all that for free. They sign up for a program.
Test it out.
Well, to sell. So she had the newest Samsung, the Samsung watch and the Samsung earbuds. And so when she would try to sell to people, it's easier to make sales, which makes sense because you want to be familiar with what you're selling. Hey, I have the newest Samsung. So it's funny because when you look at people like that, it's like, well, you have 2 phones. Like, what are you really doing? Why do you have 2 phones? You have an iOS and an Android? That's weird.
You get the secret calls on the phone. It's the burner phone. It's the one you do all your shady dealings on, right?
Your shady Quid
a lot, okay? Yeah, that's right. Just all Quid. Just shady Quid. No. I didn't even know that Android had a watch, so.
You've never heard of the Galaxy Watch? What is wrong with you? Do you live on? Well, I would say if you live under a rock, but you kind of do.
Not a pineapple.
Yeah. Are you SpongeBob now? Are you trying to drop hints? Are you dropping hints of something? Speculation?
No, under a pineapple. No. I'm just out in the middle of nowhere, and I work to pay attention to new things. Technology just flies right by me.
Every time I think about where you live in the middle of nowhere, all I can think of is like Children of the Corn. That's all I picture. I'm like, you're the house like in the middle of all the cornfields. Like you have the Children of the Corn house.
Really cool, but no, I'm just surrounded by corn, but we're in the middle of all of that. So, I'm in a village that's literally, and it's a village because it's 2,000 people. And big city, 10 minutes away. So, and that road is like just straight. It's just literally cornfields as far as the eye can see. It's great.
That would be that's what they should try to work on is get some of those older movies that aren't like super popular that don't have like a giant cult following.
That would be really cool. And I know a lot of those, especially if we went with horror. I'm like a complete horror fanatic. There's a bunch of old, like cheesy horror movies that weren't even like huge, but they have a cult following. I would think it would be somewhat maybe easy to get a hold of, depending on, of course, who owns it. That would be cool.
Well,
that would be really cool.
We should try to get more public domains so Dark Side has more horrors to collect. No more one-on-ones. Let's do away with those. I don't want to stress him out again. I don't want him to freak out and possibly leave. Maybe like they should do like top 66 or like top 13. Like the top 13 for horrors made sense, or like 66, or when they did the open edition of like the 666 stuff like that's like that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, how cool would like 80s horror movies be? Or just an 80s, like 80s everything. Just on 80s chat had all these different categories of 80s stuff. Like horror, whatever. 80s soundtracks and 80s hits and 80s toys. I mean, it's like a huge thing. I mean, why couldn't we do something like that? That'd be fun.
Couldn't somebody design 80s stuff and very similar to like the Identity stuff where we all know who most of those people are, but it doesn't have their name? Couldn't they do something similar like that on Quid where somebody designs all this really cool 80s stuff? It doesn't necessarily say the name, but we all know what it is. 80s candy bars and stuff like that. You do the old school stuff, the malls. Shit, just create a mall.
Critters, Hovey. We could kind of, but I know when we did, I think it was in Quid, we did a set that was like 80s kind of horrors. It was one of those horror sets, and it was based on like different like icon movie killers like type of thing. We had to be really careful about like using masks and like the Freddy sweater. I mean, certain things are trademarked, so careful not to get too similar, or else that could have been a problem.
Yeah. Because that's a set that had the scissors from Us, right?
And we had like I think a chainsaw and a butcher knife, and these iconic movie characters used to slaughter people. But we had to be careful about how similar they looked to items because they're trademarked. So it's certain. I mean, I would think that if we could do like an 80s toy set, I mean, we could kind of make them. I think, but you could tell what they were, even if they weren't exact.
Here's an idea. Here's an idea that you can give to them. Claim it as your own. What Quid should do is make Quid Happy Meals, and it's like an online have to do an unboxing, and you get a toy. How cool would that be? You get a toy in the box.
Okay, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Happy trademarked. So we'd have to do like
call the kids meal.
Be the Quid meal. It's the Quid meal.
There you go. It's the Quids meal. Done. Done.
Open it and get a channel. No, I had an idea a long time ago with that gift shop channel. I always took the gift shop channel and we had made it to where you bought something and you could gift it to somebody else as a gift that they had to open and then make it an item, like kind of like at a gift shop, and then send it to someone as a gift, like for a birthday, whatever. Just a fun type. I always thought that would be really neat because they'll gift each other things, and then they have to open it to find out what was in the gift.
That would be fun. Well, they could do something where you involve community to where the only way to get a set is people have to gift it to you, because then it brings everybody together. So, like, if you wanted a set, a bunch of people have to gift it to you. That'd be really fun. That's
exactly what I meant. Like you're saying, unless it was gifted to you.
That's how they did a regular show set similar to that, to where you only got 4 packs or something like that. Like it was a larger set, and you had to trade to finish the set. Like they locked you off at, like, I think you got 5 packs as a 5-item set, so you had to trade to finish.
We did that a couple
times. Those were always fun.
They were fun, and like we did what were those, the like shelf, whatever the heck they were called, those sets that you had to be in the top whatever the set. I know I'm talking about. They were like the Shelfie sets. I don't know if it was called
The Shelfie Awards, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about those. We don't talk about praise for praise and Shelfies anymore.
No, but I always thought it would be if we could take like our storyboards or our Shelfies or whatever the heck we have in the storyboards, and we could turn it into like a sales, like a front, like a storefront. Basically, we could use our storyboards as a store, but then we could buy sets to decorate the thing or some sort of. I always thought it would be really neat, like for people, because when we did have a lot more using storyboards, you could buy like sticker sets that you'd have them, or even get gifted them to decorate your storefront with, or but they'd be special and you could only get them in the bottom or get gifted them. I thought that would be a cool idea too. Like we could do, just different themed things, like the Halloween theme that or whatever.
That would be fun. Because there's some people who get creative with storyboards. I know Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix loves storyboards. Like kids are super creative.
All those. I mean, that was what was fun about having those types of contests, because it was really fun to get creative with those. Because you could decorate it with anything in your collection. You could upload your own backlit, however you wanted it to look. And I got crazy with them we have fun with that stuff too. So there was a lot of us at that. And we don't use them as much more, but it'd be cool if we could somehow bring that back as something people could do more of. Just to make that.
I wonder if it's something Michael can use to incorporate in, because I know he's talked about storefronts in the past, but I know that's kind of been pushed as they're trying to build up how the shop screen looks and how the sets page looks, and basically making that better, especially for newer users coming in. It'll be a lot easier for them to navigate through, like to rank sets and understand what they're ranking and where they kind of stand. But if he was able to incorporate the storyboards, as like you said, I like the idea of transforming those into storefronts, and that way they couldn't get spammed of like you can only have one storefront, you can renew it. Like if you have a sale going on, you can renew your storefront, but then it has what you have for sale, like your top items, and you could click it goes to the page. Or if there's a certain item that they have listed maybe on the side, how on storyboards you could swipe it and you could see all the items that are used, and you could buy them from there. That would be cool. I mean, we have ideas for days.
Would be. And you could like use
charge of content.
You could do hashtag, like anybody can click on that hashtag and go see your listings page. Or if you clicked on the story, go to the listings page of just those items that are listed that are on your storefront for sale. I mean, there's all kinds of cool things.
That'd be cool.
It's just we got to get it in there for features in the future.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you and I were in charge of everything to do with content in the app, this shit would be rocking. I think most people know that. They'd be like, oh man.
We come up with ideas for days and days, just all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't get very far, does it?
No, well, it's literally years of ideas. That's what this is. It's literally, we have, a lot of this stuff we've been talking about for years. Even to the fact of, hell, even like the whole Quiddcast idea. This is essentially like a year in the making of like talking like we should do this, and then we get busy and it's like we should do this, and then we get busy, and then here we are. We finally
this was actually to launch months ago. It never happened. I missed the debut Quiddcast because I was working that night, so I just had the first one.
Yeah,
I think the night I was collecting T-shirt sizes. I get all those T-shirt sizes in, so everybody could get their T-shirts that were in. So I think that night I had to stay on real late trying to get all those collected. I had that was important, I figured, because the users sort of swag. So I wanted to make sure that got done.
Obi wants us to give him a PS5. I'm trying to say. I don't know if we're going to give you a PS5, Obi. You have to ask the wifey. Ask the wifey to get you one for Christmas. Tell her you've been good.
I don't even think I've seen one in stores around here yet. They're like hard to find. We don't have one either. I kind of be cool.
They're expensive though.
They are very expensive. But
they're like
games coming out for them.
Joe,
this bag will come. I can see if estimated shipping time, but I'll have tomorrow and see if there's anything we can do, guys. I haven't heard any yet, so I can't update you yet.
After everybody gets the initial, like, because I know Aces and I think Council, I think, are getting them. After that initial, is there going to be a place where people could potentially buy like shirts or hats or whatever, masks? I don't know. I don't know what people are into. Socks? I'd wear socks. Give me some like house socks with like the rubber things on the bottom,
me
the non-slip
too.
socks. I'd wear them around the house.
I always thought it'd be really cool, coffee mugs, Quidd coffee mugs, because like I drink a ton of coffee. But I also thought it'd be really cool to have like Quidd cases, because we use our phone for Quidd. So having a cool Quidd phone case would be amazing to me, just because then you're using your public see you on your phone and your like phone case has Quidd on it, and I just thought that'd be so neat. Also, I really want the plushies. Our mascots is plushies. That is like the hill I'm gonna die on, is asking how cool would it be to have a stuffed Quark or a stuffed Fox Reuben? I mean, that would be adorable.
I would want a stuffed Foxy. I'm a Foxy fan. I like Reuben though too.
I think it'd be so cool.
It would be fun.
I want all of them. It'd be so fun.
See, we have to.
So great. I don't know how to go about getting that done.
Well, the coffee mugs, as you know, as some people may know, we kind of mess with those. And I remember I took that Quidd Lab set and made like a couple like mock-ups of like, hey, we could, number 2 collector and stuff like that. It'd be fun to make coffee mugs that are of items in app, because then you can do a chase form. You can do a checklist to where you pick somebody who wins and they get a mug or something, and we could literally do a checklist like that every week and just give away a mug a week.
That would be a really cool idea. I might have to write that up and throw it into if I can get somebody to approve it. The coffee mugs from Quidd Labs, it's great because I'm eligible for one of those, but my name's all on it. So should I tell, or should I just guess?
No, this is the contest. This is the contest now. People have to guess. We'll have to run something in the Discord or something, or maybe even put something out on Twitter. We'll run it in 2 separate places. If people can guess which one you created, and the first person right gets something. I don't know.
One of the 3D
future contest, we can give them the mug. We can make the mug and give them the mug you created.
Because one of those, I came up with what it should say to somebody who submitted it for me. So, and it made it into the It's great, but my name's not on it. But it was one of them. I designed it. It's a secret.
Are you dusting? Are you dusting your shoulders off? You're like, all right.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was the most awesome thing ever. I was like so excited that again, of course, nobody knew it was from me, so that kind of stunk. But that's like it made it into this. That was pretty cool.
But you're immortalized on Quidd, so it doesn't even matter. Your name's like literally on the Breaking Bad set, so nobody can take that from you ever.
Well, you could delete it. I mean, technically, but hopefully they don't.
Are you saying I should go in there and mess with it? I don't even have access.
I mean, somebody could. I hope they don't, because that would be sad. I mean, I'll always have the image that I took from the news feed. I was, called out for, I think, what did it say? Is it something like, danger, you are the one who knocks, or something like that? It was, I mean, I have my news post picture I could share with everybody, just because I am so cool.
I have a screenshot. I have a screenshot of the first time there was one where I was first to finish, and I felt so cool. Like, it's one of those things where I don't know why. It's like, it was so cool when you were back in the day. For people who are newer, if you were first to finish a set for a new drop, they would oftentimes post it, and they'd list of like, it'd be like, the Eyehole Man was the first person to finish. There's like an Adventure Time set. I think I was like first to finish, and I'm like, oh, it's so like, it's cool. Like, I don't know why, but that was also when. I mean,
oh man,
nuts! Huge, man. Yeah.
would be sitting there, I mean, refreshing and refreshing, and the second it dropped, we'd be buying packs as fast as we possibly to get that first to finish. I rarely got it. I think mine was slow.
Yeah, I think I got it once. I think I got it once or twice, because I think there was a regular show set as well. It was like one of the last regular show sets that released, because I just kept buying them because I was like, I need more. I want to rank, and it was like the 100,000 card count. So I just was sitting there buying packs because they were super cheap. But that would be kind of a cool.
It was so stressful.
It'd be cool
it was so
to
stressful.
something like that back, but yeah, it was stressful.
I was just gonna say that since the news back, since we're getting a news feedback, maybe as early as next week, I'm sure 100%. But now that we're getting the news post back, why we couldn't bring that back, like the first true rank in a set that dropped that day. Something we could do. I don't see it. I don't think it'd be a problem. I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, stressful though. I remember like losing my mind over these things.
So that's the thing, is like, so back in the day, sets would be, we'll say they'd have a spread, so they'd be tiered out, but your last card would be, we'll say 5,000 card count, and that shit would sell out in like 10,
if
15
you were lucky,
minutes. You would sometimes not even be able to get the drop, and it just sell out. Like, it was,
oh god, all the time.
Active. It was so active.
If you miss the drop, we're just bumming, because then you had to rely on people to trade it to. A lot of times it was very difficult to get, especially the number one card, because it was tiered, and the number one card would always be so hard to get. You'd end up waiting on, you couldn't pull, and you were trying to get, and then of course everybody wanted everything for it, because just one in the set. I mean, I remember so many, like that recollect I just did, in all of those, and that hard one were like, all of those were like the hardest. It's great. They were my favorite cards, though. They were always my favorite cards, and multiple channels. I mean, I remember in Valiant and Firefly and Bob's, like with Suspect 1. I mean, my goodness, really hard to pull. You'd spend much money and so much time just pulling and pulling. You'd end up with like 200 of the bottom card and like none of the first one. I'm telling you, I'm surprised. I never had a mental break to be so like stressed out by things.
Well, it's funny because like I've been at the same job since I've had Quid. So I remember being in meetings and just sitting in a meeting and being like, oh shit, it's like 12 o'clock and I'm like, there's a drop right now. Like, and I work with doctors. So I'd be sitting there in the meeting and I'd bust my phone out like I was checking my email. I'm like, oh, and then I just start buying, I would start buying packs in the middle of a meeting while I'm trying to listen to the doctor like talk to me, be like, hey, this is what we need done.
Did that.
Hey, I had to get those hollows. I had to get the hollows always.
And you saying that reminds me of something. There was a on here. I'm not going to out the person, but there used to be an old collector who was like an actual doctor, and he said that he used to get made fun of in his office having to open packs in between patients or like before he could, because he was trying to finish a set. I thought that was hilarious. It was great.
Isn't Elon a doctor?
I think he's a chiropractor. So yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I know he's.
I wasn't talking about him. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's.
But it's funny.
I think.
I know he's somewhere, something in the field of like something medical, because I think he said that before, where he's like, "Oh, I'm between patients. I have his opening packs." It's like.
I'm pretty sure he's a chiropractor. Yeah, so that makes sense. But that's not who I was talking about. It was he probably did it too. I mean, yeah, chiropractor. We had a really, really like spread out of people on Quid when it was really been like we had all these groups where we got to know each other. I mean, that's another thing we used to have on Al feeds, which I'd love to have come back, but each own basically news feed. So every time somebody coming in there, all of us could sit on that feed in particular, like our whatever it may be, and then you'd meet all the people that were collecting too. So you'd find your people in that feed. And that's how I met a lot of my old friends. I mean, that's where we're still friends to this day. So I wish we had those again. That would be really cool. But the people you get to know. sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say it was crazy because like not what you would expect. Like, I mean, you had nurses, of course, we have one on the call right now. And you had, actually, there was a retiree detective that collected a lot. I mean, we had such a strange, like, big assortment of all these people that you expect to be on Quid, but they all were.
Yeah, we have attorneys. I actually know a user who is an attorney. I know we have there was somebody I know that joined that I think was actually like a baseball player or something, because he spent a shit ton of money on coin. But it's like, oh, we have to check him. And we're like, oh shit, like it was like it's a baseball player, like a professional baseball player. Like random people would find Quid just because at the time, like we were the only thing in the space. There was nothing like you had tops, and I don't want to say anything bad about tops, because you did have tops where they had Marvel and everything, but the difference was in order to collect over there, you had to download an app for each brand. You wanted Marvel, you had to get the Marvel app. You wanted Disney, you had to get the Disney app. Quid was the one that had everything all together. You could collect everything on one place, and that's what would appeal to people.
Speaking of that, it's funny you bring that up. When I was talking to Tim a couple weeks back, he brought up how when we first started, we used to cross trade. Do you remember cross trading? Not allowed to do it now, so don't do it now. But we were allowed to do it back then. And these people in these other apps like Tops, Marvel, and like The Walking Dead, and the one, I can't remember what it was called, be collecting, and they would come onto Quid and they'd collect their free coins and they'd open their free packs and do stuff like that. And us Quid fanatics would collect on The Walking Dead and all these other, I don't think it was Marvel. Was it Marvel back then? I guess, I don't know. Anyway, those apps, and we'd cross trade our items. Like, say 50,000 coins saved up on Quid, and I had 50,000 saved up on Tops, pull packs for them, and they would pull packs for me, and then we would trade each other the apps. We had a whole group in line that did this. It was rated trading. It was fun.
That existed for a long time. I mean, even up until coins, like some people did it legitimately though. It's like it was against the rules, but like there were some times where it wouldn't be blatant. So you would see something like, oh, that's worth 50,000 coins, we'll say, or we'll use cash terms. That's worth $5. And somebody finds something on Disney of like, well, that's worth $5 too. Be like, I want that. And it's kind of like what people do with Marvel. Hey, like this is worth $5, but if you spend $5 in my store, I'm going to give you something for free from Marvel that I see that you need.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like a lot of people do stuff like that now. It's just like, just don't ruin our market.
We didn't really, we didn't really discourage it at the beginning. It was almost an okay, like accepted thing at the start. It got control though, and it ended up, we ended up like not allowing it anymore be happening with it. But for a long time, it was okay. And you would just have this whole group of people that trades with, collecting on Quid, but would for you or drops. And I mean, saved my life on a couple drops. No, not even gonna lie. Stuff would drop crazy and I wouldn't be around, or I'd be doing something and I'd miss the drop because I pretty much lived every moment on the app. Not even kidding, for years. So, but when I did miss something or I couldn't pull something, somebody else had pulled it. So I, go open 5 packs for them over it and trade them those. And not allowed now, so don't do it now.
Yeah, now it's a lot different.
That's why I met Stacks.
People still help each other out with drops, but it's difficult now.
Have we seen Stacks recently? That's where I met him. Was in cross trading.
I haven't. Actually, haven't. I got my cup from him, and he was buying. I wonder. I've actually wanted to travel out to where he's at just to eat at his restaurant.
That would be cool. I don't think he's in, but he's kind of far away from me.
Well, it doesn't matter. Make the trip. What is wrong with you?
I know, right?
What if this food's that good? Well, unless it's like 5 hours away, because then it's like, eh.
I think it is, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he lives near Chicago. And I mean, Chicago is like a whole other state in Illinois. And most of the time we don't claim Chicago, but it's like 6 hours from where it's really far.
I don't think many people claim Chicago. Like unless you're in Chicago, because there's like cities. Because when I went there, I went to I
There's
landed in
suburbs
Chicago, but
in Chicago.
I ended up in Rock.
There's suburbs there, and they are literally like their own cities. Aurora, and there's Arlington Heights. There's all these different little, but they're just like little cities in Chicago. I swear Chicago should be its own state.
Yeah, but
That's
the
like where
food's
I live in Illinois. We don't.
So good though.
Yeah, I heard, but I mean, I'm not a Chicagoan. I'm like down at the southern end of, right next to St. Louis. So I kind of claim St. Louis more than I do Chicago. I go Cardinals versus Cubs. This whole area I'm in is like fanatics all around.
I'm surrounded by Cubs fans because we have their spring training facility like really close to my house. So when they won, cool. It was crazy. It was crazy down here because they brought the trophy and everything down here, and everybody you could go like see it. But it's like a big thing. So it's kind of cool because we have a couple places from Chicago, a couple pizza places I think actually made their way out here. But I think when it comes to cooking anything like that, the water plays a big part in it, of like the water you use, and the water out here is terrible. Like the tap water, if you ever come to Arizona, do not drink the tap water. It is disgusting. It tastes like dirt and stuff's in it. I only drink bottled water. I refuse to, like, if I'm dying of thirst, maybe I'll drink tap water, but no, it's no.
Water here in my little village. We're on our own water supply.
Is it good?
Yeah, I love water, but when I have drank in the past, it actually it's weird. You can tell the difference here and in other areas near us, because the other area tastes awful. But here the water, it's like softer water and it tastes better. Like still only drink bottle.
Oh, hey, have you announced the winners for the Trek Recollects that finished? Have we done that yet?
I don't think we have announced those anywhere, as far as I know. I mean, I told one, obviously, to get their shipping information, but I never announced it anywhere. I definitely announced it here. Do you want me to announce it? Or do you want to announce it?
Let me scroll. I want to see if somebody's in the chat, but I can do the honors.
Go ahead.
So okay, we'll kind of recap. I think Trek Week was probably pretty good. It seemed like it got the aftermarket pretty. There's a lot of older names I've seen that were buying into some of those recollects. So that was nice to see. I know some of the people, and this was randomized. It was not like something that this was truly randomized. Spider had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with it. But
yeah, we just pulled everybody who completed, took the number 1 through the bottom number, and then random number, and whoever was in that slot is won. And I didn't even pull the number. What number won? So then I looked them up, told EHM.
Well, you can announce them if you want to. No, it's this is your thing.
Oh no,
or is it my thing?
Really, you wanted to announce them? I thought you were all excited. You were gonna.
Oh, I am excited about it. I am excited about it.
You were really excited, so especially the person that won the communicator. You were like totally stoked.
Yeah.
So you should announce.
You can. No, I'm just kidding.
How about you announced the communicator, and I'll announce you got the 3-piece China announcing, and
there we go. See, it's teamwork. So the person who won the communicator, which I do see in the chat, is JD603. He won the communicator from the Recollect. We got all his information.
Awesome.
I'm super excited because
I was told it shipped. I think it should be there soon.
It shipped? Oh.
Yep.
You've been dying out. This guy's out here. I've been dying to find out who won as I messaged him to let him know, like, hey, you won.
Pretty much. It's already going to show up at his house before he even realizes that's pretty funny. Make good surprise.
Yeah, he has to.
Look.
Whenever you receive it, you have to post it to Twitter. I want to see what it looks like how cool it is. Because it has to, like, it looks really cool, but I have a feeling it's one of those things that in person is just amazing. Unless you're like me, you're just gonna keep it in the box and you don't want to look at it. Probably just box.
Yeah, I do that too. And it's a real problem. Half the time you want to buy two things so you can open one and keep one like boxed.
That is JRG. That's JRG in a nutshell.
It's a collector mindset. It's like it won't be worth as much, but I want to check it out because it's so cool. And I mean, a lot of times things are a little too expensive to be buying doubles of everything. It's annoying. I can't ever decide. It's the whole thing. I've got multiple collectibles in my that have never been opened, so they're just still in their packaging. Yeah, a really cool collectible for our Christmas exchange with the mods. I don't know if you remember that, but Finn, he had my name and Spider calendar, which was awesome. Absolutely loved it and used it. But me a Kira action figure from Star Trek DS9. It's still in the package. I never opened it. It's still sealed.
Oh, that's cool. I don't really see too many. I remember back in the day, I used to see Trek toys all the time, but I don't really see them that often.
I had never seen the Kira figure, so when I got it, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" He took Christmas gifts. It was great. Anyway, so the other person that won, the 3-piece China set winner, was Sabrina Hellfire. Also been contacted and given her info, so I assume her. I don't think she's in the chat though.
No, I don't think so. You never know. I mean, she might listen later and be like, "Oh, they said my name."
She won that.
I like being talked about sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's cool. I think to call, especially calling out collector around a long time. That's at Recollect. I tried to. We didn't really talk about this on Trek, but I think you started to, but I interrupted you because I do that often. But to add in a couple Easter eggs, and you mentioned that, but Trek Recollect. The rule of acquisition, I picked number 21 for Phoenix because of the whole 21. And then I threw in animated stuff for Jay. Just figured it'd be nice to have, back. Y'all know Phoenix collects all the 21s. So
I think he has over, I think his last count was over 700. It's like he has like a crazy amount of 21 prints.
Yeah,
I think he still actually holds. He holds the most number 1 prints, I think, on app still.
I'm curious to know how many.
I'm
curious to know who has the most.
I think it's Phoenix. It's either Phoenix or it might be May.
I thought there was somebody else that was Zombie Girl at one point. That was number 1. Maybe not though. I might be wrong. But I don't know what it is because I don't even know how many I have. Because for a long time, when I didn't have time, when I started modding, all I would do was buy number 1s. That was like the only time to collect because I didn't have time to pull sets and everything. So I would just go look for number 1s to buy and ones. So I don't know how many I have. I had a lot. At last count, I think 300. So I don't know what I have now.
No, Phoenix has over 1,000.
Yeah, the winner there. I stopped when I started working here. I didn't have time to go buy anything. So
yeah,
that's
so many Kira 1 prints you missed.
I know. It's sad. I need to go start hunting them down.
People will sell them once they find out you want them. They'll be like, you bet. I mean, you finally, after so long, you finally ended up with that perfect spider set.
I know.
The set
that's
if
amazing.
I remember correctly,
really have to do anything.
Sure, you did. That was something I think. That was something this is a while back when that set dropped. There was still the mod program, and the mods were like, we knew that set was essentially created for you because they're like, oh, we're gonna make you a spider set. I forgot who was actually doing the content then, but they made that set for you. And then all the mods are like, we have to pull. That's why I have so many of those damn spiders, because every mod in the program was pulling to try to get the 1 prints. And then it was like, okay, you pulled this, like, because I think I had pulled a 3 print, which then JR had to trade Rob to get the 1 print, because Rob pulled a 1 print, but he traded him the 3 print plus something else to get the 1 print, and then Falcon had 1 print. It was crazy. It was just crazy because it's like a whole thing, and it took forever. And then finally, I'm like, can I finally transfer these to you? Because they're just sitting.
I know, it's a beautiful set. I think it's a perfect set because I have tried to do more perfect sets, but I could never get the last one. Every time it was like one that would just, I could not find it. After the Breaking Bad set, that's my second one as far as I know that I perfect set of, and it's Spider.
Okay, so my numbers were way wrong because I had to go look at Phoenix's page. Phoenix has 1,945 number 1 prints, with 624 being in Star Trek.
Oh
He
gosh.
has 7,011 21 prints. Like, what the hell? Damn.
That is a lot. He's probably like the top collector.
I mean, with everybody burning, he hasn't really burnt much. He hasn't really burnt much.
I haven't burnt that. I haven't burnt a single thing. I can't do it. It's too traumatic for me. I can't sell things. I can't get rid of things. I can't burn things. I'm like OCD collector over here. I'll never.
I burnt. The first thing I burnt was that damn Marvel purple base. That was like filler for everything. I hated it. I had like 4,000 of each card, and I'm like, I'm burning all of these because they were worthless. And even now, like, it's funny because everybody probably burned them, and now they're probably worth something. But they were so easy. Like, somebody has hundreds of them still.
I don't doubt it. I still do. I don't even know. I didn't burn anything, even though I threatened to burn influencers.
We had a party when that. We were burning all the influencer stuff. Shane Dawson.
I was not involved.
Shane Dawson was another one. People just burned all his stuff. Nobody wants him. Except Sam. I know Sam does, and it's because she likes his old content. So, I mean, I can't knock that. Some people like the content of what they used to watch, not who they became. So.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I didn't burn any of them, even though I threatened to burn Bad Baby. I threatened to burn hers, but.
No, you know what you have to do with Bad Baby, right? We have to transfer all those. I mean, apparently.
Can you imagine
funny. How
long that would take?
That might be old to Michael. Just start trading Bad Baby. You know
that
how
would
funny
take
though?
Forever, though? It would be really funny. How long it'd take him to notice it. Looks like the most I have is 1,500 of. I've got a bunch of F&AF stuff.
Holy crap! There's still a couple that I have. I think there's a Marvel item I have like 3,000 of, but it has a shiny in it. I think I have like 2 or 3 shinies in it, and I don't want to go through and burn it and then have to go and manually select it because I'm like, eh. And then the first major chase I did was the sketch. It was for a 5cc Marvel award that I had placed in, and so I have like thousands of some of the cards. And I don't want to burn them because I'm like, I remember that chase. Like, this is just a memento from that chase. The award I don't have anymore. It's in good hands because it's in EOP's collection. I ended up selling it to her because I think it's one of the awards she was missing for Marvel early on, like way early on. Yeah, has to go to somebody. Like, I mean, I want to. If somebody's gonna buy my stuff, I want to go to somebody who's gonna appreciate it. You were 10,000? Oh, because you did the horde. I'm like, duh. Damn, I'm actually.
How many have total?
Let's see. Who has the biggest?
That's a lot. Even sure. That is a lot. I think it might have been Rob. One point, didn't he have like a ton of stuff?
Mumbra was huge, and then I think it was because Mumbra hit. There were I think they were the first user to hit over 1 million, because I remember it being a big deal in the feeds back in the day. They had 1 million items, and everybody's like, "Holy crap!" Because 1 million items at the time that they hit 1 million items was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I remember that now. Mom around all the time. Wonder what happened there. Where
Burn all those alien first poo.
alien?
Yeah, I got my free ones and I burned them. I'm not a fan of AI. I don't want to knock it. I do not like AI generated art. I don't like that it's in the app. I understand people who may use it.
The alien was cool though, and the pool
The
part.
alien was cool. The pool looked weird. He was at a place.
Oh, wow. So Rob had 1,330,000.
What about Schmitty? Schmitty was crazy. Schmitty tried to collect everything.
Yeah, I tried to collect everything too, and then I got so far behind. I'm like, oh, it's sad. It's very sad.
Only.
One day
I only have 719,000 items.
I have
whatever
616,000. So I'm not super far behind you. And I literally didn't collect a year or 2, 3, however long it was that I didn't collect. I think I'd have probably done okay, but
that's how a lot of us were. And I mean, like, I've noticed the thing that's sad is I see a lot of these people who had 1 million plus items, and they have like 300, 400,000 now because they burnt. Which is always like, that hurts.
Yeah, that's why I didn't burn any. I'm obsessive, and I have to keep all my stuff.
Damn, 920,000. It was actually difficult.
That's a lot.
May only has I think May has below 300,000 now, and I know Teeny had a big collection. She had like 1.2 or 1.3 million. Might have even been higher than that. But the thing that people have to remember is a lot of people who had that did club chases. In club chases, a lot of those club items aren't worth anything.
And when May bought that collection, it took us like 2 days to transfer. So it was.
I'm surprised it took you only 2 days. That's a Tim thing.
That was with Tim doing it with a script on the back. I mean, it still took like a full day of transferring. She had a really big collection.
Damn, Kid Cutter, you burned 800,000 items? Jesus. Y'all crazy.
That's a lot.
That is so many.
Yeah.
I know JRG did that
it was
too.
The tiered sets. 100% tiered sets caused that to happen a lot because you'd end up with so many of that bottom one of the first one.
2.4 million items? Holy shit. I like how I don't know how big people's collections are. It's like, oh, I had this many. It's like, that's a lot of items. Holy crap. Holy crap.
I kind of wonder how many Tribble had when he left, because he's the one that did in board of each one of the white truck base.
Oh, no, remember we found out they have like 3,000 of each? That white base set?
So when is that has all together then now?
I don't know. See, this is talking about this stuff always gets me like, I wonder, because I've always wondered who has the biggest account. What would be considered like the best account? How that would be measured, because it could be measured differently. Like, who do you think has the best collection on the app? Because it could be argued a bunch of different ways, or like top 10. Because you would think, well, is it somebody who's invested in everything? Or is it somebody who has like just the rare stuff on app? Like, I've always wondered how people view that.
Yeah, I do too, because some people talked about this a little bit last week. Some people came in rares. They didn't really collect anything but most rare items. It was like I think wasn't it Cloudy that did that when he first came in? There's a couple
I think
people.
So. Who was the other? Oh, there was somebody else. I forget. I can't think of. Doc's the name. When he joined in, that's essentially what he did. He went after basically all the 9cc's and all the awards. It's almost all he would buy. So his collection at one point was exclusively Hyper Strikes and the 9-card count awards. So it's hard. Like, how do you measure that?
Exactly. Is it like the most ones? Is it the most items overall? It's hard to say which would be the most. I don't know. I don't know who would have the best. I would think if you could finish the entire app.
Nobody can finish the entire app. There's one-on-ones.
I know. Well, not possible now.
Yeah, I think that went away after.
To the first one.
Well, even then, it was like difficult.
I stopped being a completionist when they did Hyper Strikes. That's about where I.
Oh, that was shit. I almost quit.
I
think most of the mods almost scored like $50. That's the thing that's funny. Is think about that. Think about what we paid for Hyper Strikes. I think the most expensive set was like $80 or something, or it was like $100. And it's like $100. This is bullshit. I'm not paying this. And then you look at stuff now and you're like, oh yeah, I spent $150 on this drop. It's no big deal.
I know. Back then it was like, no, for that. It's impossible.
Nowadays, put money into that.
It's like it's nothing. They haven't even gotten all those hypers.
Really? Well, one of them's only half, right? One of them, only half of them are even in circulation. One of the sets. Because there's 2 different Hyper Strike sets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is like there's like 55 of each, and then the other one's sold out.
And I stopped collecting after that because I couldn't keep up. But that was when I had to stop because I was starting to mod anyway, and I had everything at that point. I mean, that was possible. So I had the entire app done. And now I'm so far behind that. At one point, I was on top of my collection. Not anymore.
I think that's what Schmitty did.
What?
Schmitty collected everything, and then to where it's like, I think there's a point in time where it's like, I don't know if that could be done. And they just literally started buying everything because they have, I know Schmitty has Lapis, that Lapis lightning that there's only like 8. I think there's 8 in circulation total that were ever pulled. He has one of them. So.
Wow, yeah.
They tried, but I'm like, everybody's like, you're crazy. And I think you just get so caught up in the moment where you're like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep collecting. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it was back then. It was a very obsessive behavior where it was like you had to have everything. I remember we were trying to get everything up, and I mean, we would get frantic if we couldn't finish drops. It was stressful. It's now how stressful it was trying to keep up with the app and complete. It never entered our mind to not, it was just like we had to because you couldn't. The idea of not finishing a set, everything finished up to that point, it was like so awful. Just could not do it. But eventually, I had no choice. We had to stop collecting everything. But there was a lot of stressful moments when I thought I wouldn't be able to get a set, especially when recolors of like Breaking Bad, when we had like the blue one dropped.
The worst, I think, for recolors was Bob's Burger. They have so many, and I've been trying to do Bob's, and I'm like, oh, they have these blue ones. Oh, they have this food set. Oh, they have this buffalo sauce set, and they're all like 20. And like Breaking Bad's the same way. They have like all these different recolors of the damn pops, and you're like, I can't collect all these. There's way too many.
Blue Sky one. It was like, I think it was Blue Sky, something like that. It was blue. It was the blue pop. But then they did that in Trek too. There was like the yellow, the blue alert, and every time they'd coming out, we would just all freak out because it was like a huge set. And there were like 5,000 counts, so we'd be losing our minds trying to make sure we could get them all. But it was still doable. Like now, it's a little bit not so much weird because there's less dropping now, but because of all the really low, it's not as feasible to be able to collect everything. Obviously, that just killed that whole completionist couldn't really point.
Yeah, that's that the 101s killed it for a lot of people. I know that made it difficult for so many people, and I didn't think they were going to do another one after they did the Gauntlet, because the Gauntlet was crazy. After that, I was like, okay, they're not going to do another 101, and they did, and then they started doing more of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this.
I may have not happened. I think I
kind of
my mind.
For this.
I was just thinking of the collectors. There was a lot of Marvel completionists. They weren't, completionists, but they were Marvel completionists, and I knew that was going to be something that because they would no longer be about their channel complete. So I knew how depressing that was. So why are you doing this? Do that. But it paid off in the long run. I mean, look at how much it ended up selling for. It was crazy, like highest sale ever. One of these days, I'm gonna get bored and start trying to collect Trek again. I'm gonna finish Trek again. So far behind on Trek.
Am I back?
I wondered what happened. I was like, what did you just leave?
Well, I was like, did the stream kill? Like, I don't know what the hell happened. And then I was like, am I still connected? I hotspot on my phone sometimes, and I'm like, am I still connected to my phone? No, I was not. So that was my worry. And then I freaked out. I'm like, I don't know if it stopped the stream. I have no idea. It says it's still going. That was weird.
Yeah, it says we're live, and you're for a second though. I was like, okay. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, was it Buddy that was the #1 Game of Thrones collector? It's like Wolfie. I can't remember his name.
Wolfie. He's really cool. He's a really nice guy. He lives in I think he lives in Germany, if I remember correctly. I've talked to him.
Yeah, and he
came back.
He won 1-1 in Game of Thrones, from what I remember.
Yeah. Tell me that. I was like, don't tell me I cut out again.
Yeah, no.
Don't go quiet on me. You freaked me out. No dead air.
Yes, I was reading the chat and trying to think, but I think that's what his name was.
It's with an E at the end, isn't it? Isn't it like Wolf G or something like Wolf G? I forget.
Yeah, right. And there was a lot of Game of Thrones collectors lost their minds when we did the 1-1. Lots of people. It's like, I'm so sorry.
Well, people quit too. That's the thing that sucks. Is like, I wish they understood. Is like, when you do that to somebody who's collected and spent money. I mean, and they even have the what I consider the even just as bad of a set is they have that 7 card count set, right? Isn't there like an award set that's like a 7 card count set? I don't know. I never collected Game of Thrones, so I only opened the free packs, and I'd buy a couple because I needed it for trading. I would try to pull the top cards so I could get the stuff I need in Rick and Morty.
Right.
And
that's what a lot of people did. That's when we had more of the free-to-play environment.
And it wasn't bad. Like, I spent money. I mean, I spent money to get coins. It'd be like Tapjoy. All right, I have to buy. Okay, I'm going to subscribe to Hulu. I'm going to get 1 million coins.
Oh, good God!
What am I going to do? I'm going to subscribe to Hulu again.
Wow. Yeah, Tapjoy and then Fiverr. I don't even know. I've still got probably like 500 razors. I did it so many times.
Did you do the Dollar Shave Club? I did too.
I did, and I did like all the newspaper or the magazine one, like a candle one. And oh God, there were so many. There was where you could donate to like a charity and get coins. And another one. Oh, I did the DNA.
You stopped those, right? Did you stop the I hope you stopped the donation ones, because those were I never did those because it's like you'll donate $2 a month, and then you had to cancel it because if you didn't cancel it, just keep donating. You're gonna check your
I found
bank
that
and be
out
like,
the hard way. Yeah, there was a couple of times back in the day I would just all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden I didn't have money because everything was out, and I didn't realize I was still charging. It was a whole thing. And then if Tapjoy didn't pay out, you'd have to give them all this proof and argue with them for like 2 weeks to get your coins, and it was a whole thing. It was fun though. I mean, a lot of coins, and we did the right. I mean, I did get my ancestry DNA though, so I'm proud of that. I know my ancestry now, all thanks to Quid.
There
were so many things.
Tea. I bought tea because
there was tea.
There was when tea bought
a tea club. Yeah, and there was wine.
They had tea. Oh, I spent so much money on tea. That was all bad, and I think it was a lot too. You got like 4 million coins or something. I think the most I ever got was from that stupid ass Final Fantasy game that you had to get like
I'm gonna
level
say
20.
That. Do you remember the game that you'd have to get to like level 10 or level 15, or it'd be something like that, and you had to
something like that. Oh my god, I hated it so much. I hated the game. Like the game was terrible.
You have to join a guild advance, and you had to keep upgrading everything. Oh, I did that so many times. Science. It was, but you get like 1.5 million coins or something great.
Oh, when I did it, it was like I think the payout was like 7 million because remember they used to do those 6 times deals, and that's when I had picked it up.
Right.
It just took forever, and it took so long. I'm like, screw this, and I started spending money in the app to hurry up and finish.
I did that too. I did that. That was the whole spend
so much.
You could like spend $5 or $10 and use the money you spent advanced really quick, and it would make it worthwhile because of the amount of coins you couldn't buy them for that much on Quid. So you may spend $5, but then you'd get like so coins over on Quid when it paid out. And if it didn't, then I used to message Megan for every problem I had. So I'd be yelling at her about tapping those coins.
Whoever did support during the Tapjoy days, they must have liked me because I'd be like, oh yeah, this one paid me. Like this was supposed to pay out. Tapjoy says it's on your end that it's not clicking. Like here's all the proof, and they're like, oh, I got you. And they paid me instead of 2 million, they paid me 6, and I'm like, I ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah, well, they would always tell us we had to go through like their support. We couldn't really reach out to Quid because Quid wasn't even really responsible. Tapjoy that was supposed to do it. But if you couldn't get anywhere with Caps, like Megan when she was here would help and hook us up with whatever we were missing at the time or what we're able to get. Yeah, that was my go-to.
Oh man, I miss a lot of that stuff.
I do too. I mean, it was super. Great. Yeah, I know. It's you start talking about it, or we start talking about it on these calls because there was so much that happened, and you kind of forget. Everybody brings up something, and then it just brings back all these other things that you forgot all about. Joy and fiber. I mean, I needed Joy, and we got fiber. We're all excited. We needed fiber too because it was just as bad as Tapjoy.
Oh, I thought fiber was way worse.
Well, in the long run, though, it was pretty cool because we were able to do something like that, get all those coins, and they would last you for like back then. I mean, you get 1 million coins to be set for a week or two. Megan is at Tibbles now.
Yeah, that's where Woody is too, right? Isn't that Woody's thing?
It's his company, I think. From what I'm not super familiar with it, but as far as I know, I think that it's his startup. Woody has Megan there. A couple other people that work with have gone over to Tibbles, from what I understand. It took me forever to understand that Tibbles is collectibles. It's like I'm so slow at some things. It's just being where she's at now. Originally, she was trying to be a voice actor. I think she had voice acting for a while, but I guess she ended up landing over there. So, but yeah, she was the one that did most of everything support-wise for a lot. I think she was in charge of some of the content. was her
Yeah,
baby.
they have
I remember.
They have, what do they have over there? They have Dr. Seuss over at Tibbles. I know that because Phoenix was collecting it.
I think they got something else, Sanrio or something. They don't have much, obviously, because they just started. But I think I saw Sanrio too.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, and there's a following for Dr. Seuss. I mean, people love those books. So most people grew up on them.
Oh, we've had it in the app. It's funny because I think new people that come in do how much we have on Quidd. It's hard to find some of it, know to look for it. You don't know that it's there. So we have so many channels that are just not really brought up as much because we concentrate more on the newer drops. But we've for a long time, and Sanrio, and pretty much like everything else.
I was actually surprised when we got Sanrio. I didn't. I always pictured Hello Kitty as like this just like this large brand, because I mean we used to have Hello Kitty store here in one of our malls, and it just seemed like super popular. And I'm not saying like Quidd can't get popular stuff, but I just thought it was one of those things that their license would have had to have been expensive. But one of the things I don't think people realize is, again, Quidd was doing this before all this stuff was popular, so it probably was a lot less than what they'd probably charge today. But yeah, we have a bunch of random stuff. I mean, we have like rabbits.
We had a pretty,
I always look at like Teletubbies. Like,
I mean, sometimes we had Power Rangers, Transformers. I mean, all these really cool. Joe. I mean, I was super excited when we got James. That was pretty cool. I do miss some of the old sets, the really, really cool sets like in Buffy and X-Files and all those channels. That was like my favorites back in the day. First collecting, I went nuts over all those. Those were next to Trek and F&AF, which is why I started in the first place for F&AF.
I'm actually surprised. Like, did you do F&AF because of your kids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I found out. Originally in 2016, we were trying to find, kids was trying to find something we could all do together, like play together. And he's complete F&AF like fanatic. I mean, he's literally got every plush related to F&AF. I mean, every single one. There's a lot of them. He still loves it, but he absolutely bananas over it. So when he found the app, we all like downloaded it together and started playing. And I did it for a couple weeks. It wasn't long, and then I was just addicted. I'm never leaving.
So addicted that you ended up getting a job and working there.
Right? It just put it enough time. It is super dedicated. I went from just being completely obsessed collector, a volunteer, to actually working here.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I definitely stayed.
Not always.
Track. We didn't even have Buffy and X-Files and all those when I first started. I mean, we had Jeff and I think those couple of
the MyMoji sets, right?
Those. Yeah, and then we started getting the other stuff. Super exciting because everything was so cool.
That's the crazy. That's actually something that's always been really crazy to me to think of. Like, Quidd started with MyMoji. MyMoji is a Funko brand. So they had Funko like really early.
Yeah.
Because that's what MyMoji, like MyMoji is it's a Funko brand. So like knowing that they started with that's like how did you guys manage that? But then when I think of the time frame, like Pops weren't that popular. That's why Funko wasn't that popular back in 16, not as popular as it was.
We got in like at a perfect time because digital collectibles were a thing. So we were like perfect timing for like all of that. It was like the best ever because we just kept getting new, like every week. And it was really not really easy, but it was a lot easier to keep. You know, obviously you'd already be finished with everything and then you'd get another. So we, collect that and then another week, and so you could kind of collect as it came out. But I mean, we had gotten to the point back then where we would be bored because there was nothing. We'd already collected everything. So that's when we started hoarding. And we kind of created that on our own, just our favorite characters we'd start hoarding just for fun and do on the app. A lot of us were on not even collecting. We were just hanging out with, other people that we met, ended up being friends, and we'd just help each other out and, whatever it may be. So we've invented our own little games to go along with the app.
That's true, because I remember there's a big thing, like when I started, so many people would be like, I'll hoard, like I'll trade you, but if you can contribute to my hoard, so they would always say what they're hoarding. And I had to start doing that. I was like, I want to hoard, like that seems like a cool thing to do. So I started hoarding the damn Rick heads, and I remember it was an accomplishment. Like when I hit 1,000 Rick heads, I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. Like they're not worth anything.
Well, it seems like every time I get something to hoard, I'd be like, what can I hoard? What is my favorite thing? And I'd pick something or failed, somebody else was hoarding it too. So I always ended up having to move to some, because I think I went through Spock. I was trying for socks for a while, and I had to come up with something because people would be like, well, what do you hoard? I'll give you some spots so that, you trade me or whatever. I had to come up with something to trade for. And I think I ended up hoarding Spike from Buffy at one point, and then I moved on to Kira. So Kira ended up being my last hoard. Anything Kira, I would take.
You should pick something up. It's a lot easier to hoard now. It just sucks. That's where wish. It's hopeful thinking. I hope we can get to the point of where we can sell bulk like that. Because it'd be nice if somebody's like, I have 1,000 Rick heads. I was just gonna burn them all, but I'll sell them all to you for like $5. Because that'd be. I mean, I would buy those all day long. I'd buy all of it because I wouldn't care about the damn edition. You can give me all your editions. I don't care. Give me all 8th edition. I don't care.
I mean, I would take anything Spock, but a lot of people Spock, I think. So that was a big,
Do Kira. Just make a strong comeback and just start hoarding Kira stuff.
I did the filling. I think I actually remember being Darkseid for Empire. I think I gave him Empire needs every time he had a low that I'm pretty sure I remember that's, I think, how I met Darkseid, was trading him needs, because I had collected Empire too. Of course, I collected everything, sort of like everything.
I don't remember. I was trying to think of like the first people I traded. I know like some of the early people. Like I traded Fan Crazy a lot, back in the day, only because he ranked Rick and Morty. Like he was the person I knew who ranked Rick and Morty, and then I knew Lightning Rick he ranked things. Those are the only sets he cared about. So I was like, cool. And then they covered me for drops. Like that's the cool thing of when we had all those small little tight-knit communities, people basically covered.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's
people still try to do that now.
Yeah, we're helping each other a lot more now. Are still helping each other now, but like there are little groups that would collect stuff that they knew you wanted, and you'd collect stuff you wanted. I mean, God, there were so many. I mean, like Elon was in that group, so we always knew he'd need Firefly because that was his big. So we'd buy for him if he wasn't around. And Shafar and Artemis collected X-Files. She was the big X-Files fan. I'm trying to remember who else was in there. Oh, I think there were Firefly people in there. Shafar was Firefly. And Sammy hasn't been around a lot. She collected, I think, Firefly. But we'd all have our own thing, and then we'd just help each other out. All it was about back then was just finishing the sets. We weren't really concerned with ranking. We weren't awards because we didn't have awards back then. Awards at the time, it was just collecting sets to complete. You didn't have to try to rank, and you didn't have to try to get an award. You finished your set, and you felt good. And then if you wanted to try to hoard or try to, before we had value rank, there's already some people that to try to get the lower ones, the lower numbers, because we liked low numbers. So that was pretty cool. We had to find something to do, so we were just creating our own to collect. I think that it would be nice that back on Quid more of the just fun collecting of the app that isn't for ranks, there isn't for awards, it's just to collect, because I think I really like collecting. It's just, I know I just enjoy collecting. It doesn't need to be for a rank or for an award.
I mean, there's enough out there if it's something to be like to do with licenses, because I don't know how the licenses are now, if they have certain requirements like you have to do this, or we want involved in like middles, like we want NFT type things. That seems like to be the hot thing right now. But if they can create like Quid Labs or like Quid original content, make a new gallery channel, like, Gallery 2 or whatever the hell they want to call it, and bring back a lot of that stuff where we can do more. I mean, do more public domain and just don't tie awards to it. I mean, you could do tie award. You could, if you tie an award to it, just do an all that complete and just do basically an open-ended edition. So do, I don't know, 5,000, first 5,000 or something crazy, to where we probably won't hit it right away. Because I know there's still sets out there like that. There's Valiant sets out there like that if you finish the set, you can still get. There's a poster set, or not it's a puzzle set. There's a puzzle set that you could still get, because I think the one print hasn't been pulled. For the longest time, everyone's like, if you haven't finished this, go and finish this, because the one print's still in there. Maybe you'll get it. And that was like a big thing that people were trying to do. That should be something you should bring up, because that is one of the things that's missing. Is with this, we get short engagement. So the Comic-Con sets, that's a perfect example. Like 3 sets. They had engagement those 3 days, and then after that, it's probably going to fall off, because there's effectively we've created an environment where there's no reason to. So I could go, hey, how much are these things? I can go to the aftermarket and pay 15 cents a card and finish.
Yeah, I know the aftermarket tends to kill the buying. Yeah, I agree. I kind of miss just being able to collect just to collect. I like having awards sometimes, but I think we should bring maybe do both. Would be great if we could kind of balance it to where, there's some for people that want to get awards, but then there's also like Quid content. It's just, like Quid Labs or what you can collect, and it's not for a reward or for rank. It's just for fun. You just collect it to have it. And I think miss being able, or not. We should make it easier to use stickers on our phone keyboard. That's something I liked back when it was the first thing, and the keyboard thing on the go. You can't search, and it's kind of difficult to even maneuver. I always thought that was fun. We had people that just collected stickers.
Yeah, I think I know that's why I know Miss D-Law always brings up. I see her in the chat. She said I'm breaking up. I know that anytime she can't use the sticker, she's like, I can't use this in the app. Like the shiny variant, she's like, I can't use this. Mm-hmm. They need to improve that, because
I understand that. I agree. That's why I said we had people that just collected stickers only so they could use them on their phone. I thought it was really cool. It was a little bit, if the feature was built a little bit better, where you can search for things, I think that would help a lot. We did have pops too at one point. So, there were so many different types of collectors that I think there's a lot we could probably maybe add in here in the future. Like Quid Lab sticker sets were easy to get, not super hard, fun to collect without awards and all that, but they'll have all the other sets that we do for awards. I think it would be nice to do kind of a mixed bag for all the collectors.
That's something you should bring up to content. Is if all the Quid original sets, if they just did those as like the fun sets, it may be a way to attract more people, to get new users in. Especially like if you're starting, they can get a starter deposit, and I know they do that. And I think a lot of them are. I think most of the credits now are primary, but even if not, like it's $5 or however, if they use like somebody's promo code, they can get a little bit more. If we did Quid sets to where it's like, hey, check out these Quid original sets. Like this is created by, like, we have content creators in-house. This is the content they created. Come collect these. Like, you can get an award if you collect the full set. Again, just do the open-ended sets, and then public domain has so much content that it's kind of upsetting. Bring back bring back that thrill of wanting to check in every day to where we have, and I know they try to steer away from this. We have 1 drop a day right now. Tomorrow we have 2. Tomorrow I think we have 2.
Yeah.
We
Us
have
to have like
we have
6 drop a day.
Yeah,
And
that was common. That was normal.
It was normal. I mean, it was every day we had 5 sets, and I get we don't concentrating more on seasons, but it'd be cool to have some more easy sets thrown in with ranking and all that. Open-ended sets are really cool too. I'd like that. Coming in can buy them.
They could do something. So like let's look at the schedule. So tomorrow we have 2 drops tomorrow. That's pretty cool. And then it looks like we actually, the next 2 days we have side-by-side drops. We have the Identity, and then we have the Around the World and 80 posters, right?
80 posters, yeah. Oh my gosh, that award for that.
That book?
Easiest and coolest I've ever had. Oh my god.
Oh,
I just, I would like to have that book. That is so insane.
But imagine, so if they did this standard in between these, so like you have this standard and you have these regular drops, but in between you just have normal sets that drop of like, hey, we're going to drop a couple Quid Lab sets, we're going to drop a couple gallery sets. Even if the gallery set is more
right, or
yeah,
like the book channel.
Bring back midnight movies. I'm telling you, that midnight movies idea would sell. That would sell so well if they did the movies like I was explaining before, to where it was already, and they did drops while everybody's doing like, I mean, on this live stream, Quid's gonna host it on Twitch, or we're gonna have Laptop Pound host it on Twitch first. Somebody hosts it, and then they do drops that correspond with the first 15 minutes, like, because those older movies aren't as long, they're like 2-3 hour movies, they're like an hour and a half. Do drops within those. If they did something like that, it just makes me mad, because like there's all these like, and I have so many ideas that I know would potentially work to get more involved in the community and wanting to collect, because it's something you can easily promote. You take old horror movies that are public domain, people will tune in because there's a bunch of old school fans that they don't think of, and they're like, wait, you're gonna do a watch party? Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch this movie. Like, why not?
Sticker sets and movie like cards. Like, you could start with an easier set that people could get, ranking and all the awards and all that to collect. Then you could use those stickers in your text messages, and for people that like horror, really cool, because I would use those. Then also, the next set then could be a little bit, harder to get, more like the movie post. It kind of like what we did with the Unreal Cinema and Blockbuster. It kind of gradually went up to the 3, something like that, because we used to do a lot of that. We used to do a lot where we drop them really easy, like high count, like base sets, and that would be a little harder, and it'd have the filler of the base set in it, or the stickers or whatever. And the next one after that, it would increasingly get a little bit more difficult to collect them, but you were already hooked because you started buying at the beginning. But it kind of dumped. We don't really kind of do that thing that much anymore, like where we increase these sets to hard sets. It's all just kind of the same type of sets. I think that idea too. I have so many ideas. I know you do too. We need to put a sheet together, brainstorm, and write them like that.
Michael should just give us 90 days, put us in charge of content, and see what we can do. It's not going to get any worse than it is now. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but
that would be scary.
We can't do that bad. It's not going to break everything.
Well,
we might release crazy stuff, but
I already went nuts.
I think these are great.
Like 2 weeks ago, I wrote out all as I had for like Thanksgiving sets and Bloody sets and Christmas sets. Put it all in a Word document and sent it over. And so I was going a little nuts. You should just add your ideas to that sheet, and then we'll have this big list of all our ideas.
We need to get a meeting with Michael. Is what we need to do. And just be like, listen, Michael, listen.
This is what
would be fun. I do like that. See, even so, like what Ms. Dila said. So, a Rocky Horror Picture Show stream, you can make sets very similar to how you did the horror sets, that they're not necessarily ordering the line of like, oh, we're not copywriting, but everybody gets what this references to in the movie.
Is it on public domain or is that still?
No, there's no way that's public domain. Maybe, but I don't think it is.
Well, I mean, like, how cool would it have been to do like a during Halloween of like Night of the Living Dead? Because I know that was watched a zombie movie. Would have made my whole Halloween super happy.
You do that,
but there's a lot of like that.
There's a lot of public domain horror movies. I mean, you get to watch. You get to watch like Zombie.
Nosferatu is actually getting a remake now. I saw. Get do the watch party for the first one, but we actually have a set on Nosferatu, I think, already. So, but they're the classic black and white crazy cult movies that I would think are probably public domain at this point. So it'd be really cool. Absolutely, I would watch party. I didn't know I ever got to talk through most of the movie.
I don't know how well you know content. Is it possible to add effects over the GIFs that we have? So if you have an image and it has like a blood splatter on top of the image, or is that going to lag the app? Like, do we have stuff like that? I don't know if we have anything like that. Do we have something like that? Because what if the movie? We could do a watch party. You just redo the horror ones to where they're either they're GIFs, but they have like the fog overlay or a blood overlay or.
Well, we call that like a sub brand. It's like the sub brand would be holographic or a blood splatter or something that is added to existing set to make it like a recolor or a different filter of some. We've done that on the horror ones. We did blood splatter. We've done that with lights. I mean, you would think something like Nosferatu or something and drop a new Nosferatu set with a new cool filter or whatever. Hey, we could colorize it. Make it in color. That'd be fun.
That would be cool too. I mean, like I said, as I've told you before, I have a lot of physical stuff that I could potentially give away to go along with some of this. And if not, I mean, I could point in the right direction of it. Like, I know I have a couple autographs from Night of the Living Dead, and I know I have a bag from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna give those away.
I think Darkseid would fight you for them.
Not fair. It's like my favorite genre movie, zombies, and Romero's idol. So I actually made my kids watch the original Night for Halloween. Absolutely love that movie. It started my whole with zombies. I've literally read every zombie book. I've watched every zombie movie. I have like zombie necklaces. I have zombie socks. I am like a complete zombie nerd. I'm not even joking.
We could even do. I'm telling. Even if they do the overlay, take an existing set, do the overlay, see how it works.
Well, yeah.
Because I
mean, that's
can almost guarantee.
I
can guarantee the sets would sell out, especially if you do something. Remember, those were higher than what we have. They were all 13 print. And if you remember, you could get early access, but don't do the early access thing because you want it to go along with the watch party.
Oh yeah.
I could almost guarantee they'd sell out. And that's one of the things that the stuff if you do.
If we did it on a live stream with a watch party, we could give out physical merch too throughout the stream, whatever.
That's a good idea.
If you're watching the stream, you could do something that ties into that movie that we would give out during the stream, watching and pulling the cards or whatever. Or we could even be like, if you pull this, you get this item.
That would be fun. Like the figures, the physical figure things we did where you had to have the certain ticket number to win. Those are cool. That was actually really cool.
Figer. Or Figer. Yeah, it was Figer. We did those in Marvel, I think. They were the Figers.
Yeah.
PHY.
Physical figures.
Physical figures, right.
I know what they were trying to get at.
Yeah, I probably said it wrong anyway. It's probably like figures, but with the PHY. Or don't ask. I don't know why.
You're just making stuff up now. Yeah, they did do it.
Pretty much. That's what I do.
Yeah. I mean,
that was pretty cool.
they should let us try. And honestly, one of the things too, because these are pricey. These sets are a little bit pricey. I don't mind buying them because I really like the identity sets. I really like. Compared to the previous drop though that they did, they're more expensive. We paid $250 for 5. Now it's 4 for 4. What we need to do to keep people engaged is with any of the Quid original content, you just do a little bit higher CC, charge less. I remember like the horror packs, they were like 50 cents or something like that, and you got 5 cards. Even if you make it where the floor, if it adds up to that. So if you do, 90-cent packs or something like that, you could do something like that, or 60-cent packs. They should do something like 66-cent packs would be fun. Something like that for horrors to keep it
there would be to even if we could add in some like really different and unusual shiny that was like harder to get, but you would want to keep pulling the packs so you could get the shiny. If it was like something really cool, like totally different, maybe.
It's literally what they did with horrors, though. That's what they did with horrors in the Midnight Movies, and why they those sets sold out. I'm almost positive almost all those sets sold out because they had shinies in them. I found out you could get early access, and everybody got early access. So pull them all, and like everybody was pulling them, and people dumped money because it was worth it. Who cares?
Do you remember when
you might have to
sold out? We sold out sets in us. Do you remember when that would happen? Oh gosh, people got.
Oh yeah, I got mad.
We do the early access and sell out the whole set.
I remember that happened to one of the horror sets, and I didn't do early access because I'll just wait. And then I think it was JRG's like, I'm just gonna keep buying the shinies in here. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And then they sold out. I'm like, he's like, don't worry, I can use set. And he had like 60 of each card or something. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
That sounds like JR. He was for a while he was mining all the Trek sets that were left. Maybe just buying them all. I could have. I helped him with it because there's. Oh, I could hit you.
There's I did one of them because for one of the checklists there's a card in there. I'm like, I could sell this. I'm like, why do I have so many? Because they're selling. They're like 50 cents each or something. And I'm like, I have 300 of these cards. Why do I have 300? I go look at the set. I'm like, oh, this is a set where he was like, there's one print still in there, there's still single digits in there, help me mine it. I'm like, I have nothing else to buy, okay.
Ridiculous. I remember getting some for that.
I mean, well, the thing that's funny is he would find an old set and then sell it out because he'd be like, well, I have nothing to pull, what do you want me to do? I have nothing to buy right now. So I mined Trek and I found some here. I got a 7 print, a 3 print.
That's what always happened. He'd get bored, and then he would start collecting a new channel. That was how he ended up collecting Trek, because he got bored and everything else to do because he finished was collecting at the time. It might have been Valiant, and then he moved to Trek because Trek hadn't, so it gave him a challenge. So he moved to Trek and started collecting that. I think after that, he moved somewhere else. He was always popping around. Oh, was his thing. Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy has always been
first.
His thing.
Because he used to go, gosh, there were so many battles with him and with other users. He was always getting into something with somebody.
I don't think so. I'm looking at the comments. I don't think they'll ever bring back the club at $2 because it's a net zero. You could buy and burn and pretty much get your money back. I think they have them at $3. So you still spend the $1 like you usually did, but if you wanted to re-roll, you get $2 back off of what your $3 purchase is. I've seen them cheaper though. I've seen them for $2.50. I think they've done $2.50 before.
Yeah, we just have to make it higher than what it would cost, or what they would be able to get back, or you guys would be able to get back from them or whatever.
You mean like how it was when Burning first came live, and I was like, hey, all the club packs, they're 99 cents. And you told somebody, I'm like, no, it's not fixed, whatever. I told them.
Yeah, and then we still missed a couple of random. I remember it was like, oops, that's not good. Why are everybody buying that one?
Wow, okay, why is everybody buying club packs all of a sudden? This is weird. iOS users hated Android users. Because remember, Burning came to Android first.
Yeah, Yeah, whatever. I think I'd love all the ideas though I found though, because by the time I get off this call, I'll have forgotten because I'm going to go to bed tomorrow. Going, what did we say yesterday on the call?
Since we talked about movies, Darkseid's gonna bug us. He'll poke us like every once in a while and be like, "Hey, remember that idea you had about bringing back some horrors? I'm the horrors guy. So are you doing that? Are you doing that?" And he'll remind us. He'll remind us until we get an answer.
Well, that's okay. That's a good thing. That gets things done. I mean, half the time because I get too many things at one time, and then my brain just forget what I was supposed to be doing, and I concentrate on the other half. But having somebody remind me, then I'll be able to like go to be like, "Hey, let's do this. See what happens." I mean,
we've been involved in the community so long. It's usually, and I think that's where we have the upper hand over, say, like newer staff. We know what works and doesn't work because most of it they've tried in the past in some way, shape, or form. So we're like, this will work. Do this, and then they don't. They don't listen. Tell them. Well, we'll have to get Michael some time. I'm gonna ask him. You know what? The next council meeting, I'm just gonna slip that in there and be like, so Spider and I, we're gonna do content for 90 days. You're cool with that? Yes.
Sure. Sure. Well, we're just gonna run the company for the next few days. No biggie. We're taking over.
If I ran the company for the next 90 days, I guarantee I could turn a lot of this stuff around. If anything they have wrong, I bet you I could fix it. I'll take your silence as a yes, you agree, because you don't want to say anything. I understand that.
Yeah, it's a big job. There's so much going on the back end. Trying to run the whole company would mean. I mean, I only do a small portion, and I'm half the days, so.
It's me we're talking about. I mean, you know me well enough. I'm an idiot.
You don't sleep. You don't do anything but on Quid. You're like I used to be. I'm a little better now, probably just because I'm tired and have to actually go to bed at a certain bit. I used to just sit on the app for a day practically. I'd be answering people morning, 4 in the morning, 7. I barely slept. I just sat in the Discord and the line chat like all day and night. I got a little tired. I had to catch up on some of my stuff. So what we have tomorrow, we have identity, and we have around 80 days starting tomorrow. We should make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the set. For like these are nice. Like these look. I really like these. I'm gonna buy them just for the fact like I like the way they look. Hopefully they're not too much.
Cool. I'm not sure what the pricing will be, but
well, and this is one of the things. And we'll I mean, we could announce. Well, it's towards the end. We can announce it. So tentatively, I did get confirmation that next week we'll have a special guest. We're most likely going to have Hayden over at Pop Culture joining us on Quiddcast. So, because one of the questions I want to ask is, this is a pop culture set. This is brought to us from them. Is if these are similar to the posters that we had, like the Summer of the Cinema, if they actually have these original, like if these are original posters that they have, because if so, that'd be really cool. Or where these essentially came from. Like these are really nice posters. Yeah, we make moves.
And then I think I'm gonna try to have a special guest the week after, but I'm not gonna say anything until I confirm.
Yeah, he'll be just cool.
We're gonna try to get some guest hosts, guests, whatever. Not really guest people coming on each week, so you don't just have to listen to us like ramble for 2 weeks. You'll have somebody else on here too.
That will ramble with us, hopefully. Hopefully they just fit right in. I don't like to interview personally, like as far as like a typical interview of like, hey, tell us about this. And that's kind of one of the things I kind of talked to Hayden about is just the formatting's a little bit different. Like, I mean, we just want to, we just want to hang back.
This is more going to be just, hang out and chat so much, interview and ask a bunch of questions, but more just know Hayden a little bit better. And maybe it might bring us in the future. Maybe we'll get some little leaks in there.
I mean,
I don't know that to be kind of cool.
I won't say exactly the conversation that I've had with him, but I will say that he may try to connect us with some other people to have on here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, because Hayden's responsible, like pop culture is responsible for bringing a lot of stuff to Quid. That's including, the Summer at the Cinema, the Nia Chang, I think he brought us Todd Goldman. So like all those sets.
Mm-hmm.
So they've brought us a lot of different stuff, and it's fun. And I know he's in the Discord. I know that much. He doesn't know Discord too much, and he's kind of like me, still trying to figure out the whole Twitter thing. But I think it'll be good to have him on just to kind of talk about like his love for everything, because like the Comic-Con stuff, the LA Comic-Con, that's them as well. Like he's connected to them, so a lot of the content we're getting, and I mean, I like all these sets. I really like the Comic-Con sets because it's a different take on their mascot, which is really cool. And I want to maybe he'll drop a hint, because I mean he asked a question on Twitter. Maybe he'll drop a hint and be like, actually, we're going to be bringing this, and you might get the lowdown here first type of thing.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, you can't say it wouldn't happen. But it'll be fun. It'd be nice to have somebody else on too to talk. Although I think we could probably sit here and talk for hours on end. And
I was like, I told you, the thing that's funny is I was like, we'll try to keep it to an hour, because I know we went 2 hours, and then I look at the time like, yeah, I knew that wouldn't happen. I was like, it's Spider and I talking, like that's not gonna happen, because this always happens with anything.
Well, and we got on early too, so we've actually probably been on for about over 2 hours now.
I wanted to make sure there was no lag, which is why like I have like the different screens up, because they still have packs. I wish those were. I wish they were a little bit cheaper, just because I would have bought a lot more, and I spent a lot already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come in the app, though.
Yeah, I mean,
in the app we have the same thing.
We're gonna keep getting new stuff. I mean, working with pop culture like that, they've brought us so much. I can only see more coming in the future.
A travelogue? That would
be
freaking awesome.
It would be really cool. I don't know if somebody was planning. Sounds pretty cool.
Damn, if somebody's doing that, what they should have them work with Quid, and they send pictures from each place they've done to like, hey, I'm here. Guess where I'm at? And that's a trivia. They send pictures from wherever they're at. And somebody has to guess. Whoever guesses gets credit or something. See?
Postcards from that location to them.
That would be cool.
Some little gift shop cheesy thing. You spoon with the little or snow globe. Snow globes that shops would have. Either the spoons or the little postcard or all of the above. You'd have to get it all sent if you guessed where they were.
That would be pretty cool.
I used to collect the spoons and the snow globe. Oh, or the T-shirt. I went over and all I got was this stupid T-shirt. Or something like that.
One of the content creators.
Not sure then who it was.
Old content creator, I'm assuming. I don't know anybody's traveling. Unless I think Winston's trying to say he's going to pay us money to travel around the world and take pictures, and so that we have more content. I appreciate that, Winston.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think we should.
That's my takeaway.
I think we should rent an RV and just travel around the world in an RV, Quiddcast on the road while taking pictures of scenic locations. I'm down.
And then every state we stop in, we try to find users there and do like a meetup. Done.
That would be.
We'll call it QuidCon on the road. That's what it would be called, and we'll make your dreams come true. QuidCon on the road.
QuidCon on wheels.
Yeah. We'll have merch.
That would be fun.
That would be cool. Like
it's just traveling. Good God, it's the EHM mobile, Quiddmobile. It's like we can put a big, huge logo on it. Paint it purple. It'll be great.
Quiddmobile, and then on top of it, it has Quark, Foxy,
Spider.
and Ruben.
No, it has a big spider on top, like with sides. I mean,
that would be fun to do.
It'd be like the Spider Mobile then.
Yeah, just trying to push me out now.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a way to incorporate like a Rick head or an eyeball. The spider could be eating an eyeball, or a Rick. I mean, that's a
or a Rick head.
I don't know. I was trying to go up with something. You picture the whole.
You put eyeballs on. You put eyeballs on the side. I'll show you around and have a place. There we go. We're gonna go visit Cutter. Look, see, people are already offering us places to stay.
That's it. It would be cheap. We could just crash with all the other Quid users.
Hopefully, they have food too. If they have food, I don't know. For some reason, I picture like Cutter probably can cook like really well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe his wife cooks really well. Somebody probably cooks really well. I just really want food.
So we're just like gonna stay there. We're not even gonna move on. Just like move in, just because they cook well.
the first stop, we just get stuck there. We're like, I guess this is our life now.
That could be really fun. We could like get.
I wish I would.
Canada. Isn't laptop in Canada?
Yeah, laptops in Canada and Taka fans in Canada.
Let's see. There's two. We could go to Canada and visit both of them.
It's cold as hell there, though.
Quid cross borders. Crosses borders.
Tamales? Done. I am headed to Cutter's house.
So good. Now I need tamales.
I know. That's what I
like.
And it's the time. It's the time of the year. I have to start get out there because we have the people who sell them in the parking lot. Those are the best ones. That's where I always buy them. Is the old the old sell them in the parking lot with I order a mean Whopper.
That's what I saw too. Works for me. I take a Whopper or I'm good with. Yeah, but if we went with JR drunk the whole time, right? I mean, drinking everywhere, and we have like drunk JR.
You know that's a funny thing though. So we make a JRG set and we take all these pictures that are embarrassing drunk pictures and make a set out of it.
Getting JRG set.
I'll go visit all these people. I'll go hang out with.
I know,
I think
right?
It's funny.
I think Miss D-Law is not far from me, so I could stop there on the way, or you could stop there on the way. I don't know how that would work. Going together. Good call. Drunk.
I actually perfect. I'm trying. It's future probably. I'm gonna try to plan to go to Disney World. I hate Disneyland. I don't like California. No offense to anybody who lives in California. I don't like California that much. They're right next door to me. Don't like.
You have to call it.
So.
That the brunch JRG set, it'd be the brunch set because he's always brunching, but he gets drunk during brunch. It'd be like the brunch set. Yeah. Sorry.
He would be like that Bob's Burger episode. He would be like those people that go in there and they just sit there and drink and barely eat. Damn. See, everybody's making. Oh, I'm hungry. Like I'm really hungry now. Like, I want
steak on the grill. Steak. I mean, I'm there.
Shit, Darkside said let's plan a Disney trip. He lives so he's Disney World. You want to get your steps in?
Right, right. That was the Quid goes to Disney special. Right, that would be pretty cool too. But along the way, I have to find all those crazy things. You know, like the giant or like the biggest clip or whatever the heck they are. And that would be part of the sets. Pictures of those.
I have a picture of like I don't know if it's the world's largest, like the pistachio. New Mexico has a giant pistachio because they have a pistachio farm out there. It's huge. I don't know how tall it is. Texas has a lot of like world's biggest type of stuff, don't they? I want to see like stuff like weird stuff that like the world.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Isn't that the saying? Or is it bigger or everything's better? I don't know.
Bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's what I thought. Everything's bigger in Texas. That'll be great.
Hey, if we end up in Texas, we can go stop by and say hi to Steven Crowder.
Is he in Texas?
Yeah, he comes out of Texas. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't know where he lives. But I mean, I'd love to go to Texas. I've always wanted to see. I think I saw a family in Texas, so we needed a place.
Texas. Oh, see, who lives in Texas? We'll have to see.
I don't know, but I do.
Shauna lives in Texas. I think.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
So now we're just inviting.
I'll just start trying to think of all the users who live everywhere and be like, boom.
Yeah, we'd have a.
Hobie lives in Texas. See, I should remember this, but every time I think of Hobie, I know he's from the East Coast. Like I think he was from New York, but lives in Texas or something like that. If I think I remember correctly. Damn, he'll cook for us too, or his wife will. I'm just trying to get free food. I'll come hang out with you guys.
Just look, we're going anywhere there's food. 200 pounds on the Quid road trip.
That's why. So this is what we Quid road trip. You go eat with everybody, and then you end up going to Florida to hang out with Darkside, and you do the Quid goes to Disney, and we walk it off because Disney World, you're hitting 20,000 steps plus per day. Just saying.
Well, I mean, you've got it all planned out. Now some sort of
and it could be like the RV movie. We could do funny stuff and like go like camp in the wrong spots and like break the RV, and for some reason you're trying to keep your job quit. I don't know. We'll make it like a movie too. We have to find a way to make money, and then we get free food. It looks like we could stay with some of the users, collectors and cars getting snacks.
We would just
that
have
is
to
the show.
Start our own YouTube channel that would Quid goes crazy or something, and just like think what's going on.
Tell Mike his money stats so we can make this happen. I'll plan it out. I'll make it.
So that we can travel around the world and visit all the Quid users at the same time. So we're gonna actually can do app as well.
I like
that would be great.
Dark side. You have to do that. You have to somehow make that a thing. I would watch that. Because have you ever watched the comedians in cars getting? Well, have you watched the comedians in cars getting lunch or whatever it is? That's actually like I like that. I've watched a couple of those. Oh, I would watch that Dark Side. I would watch that. No idea
sure. That he can do that set.
Huh.
Car show. There's so many you could do. Flowers of the world, insects of the world, birds of the world. There's so many different things. I could find I went to.
Is that set still happening?
Which one?
The one that council came up with, is that still happening this month? Do you know?
It should be. It was scheduled for the middle of November. I actually need to get an update on it. I brought it up earlier today, but I didn't get an update and see where it's at on the calendar because there's kind of a lot going. So we've got a lot of different things happening.
Maybe that's the Black Friday set? Maybe. I mean, who's that?
That would be cool, but I don't know what. I know kind of what's going on Black Friday, but not fully. So I'm not at liberty to say. But there's stuff dropping on Black Friday, so I can say that, I think.
If there wasn't, we would get yelled at.
Probably.
We always drop stuff on Black Friday.
I know. I was already bringing it up in the middle we're going, okay, we need a plan for Black Friday. Everybody, we need a plan. Because, I thought it was going to come pretty quickly. And it was like, let's this. And, I was in my paper that I sent you had ideas. That was on there. Lots of ideas. But a little, not even, it's just scamming ideas.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, it has taken.
That was, I don't know. That was a while ago.
I know. I mean, the only thing I can say about that is that we did in charge at that point, and when Sam moved on, when he left, we didn't have to find, but we tiles in as a replacement, and they had to kind of get caught up on everything, get used to the things and all of the how it. So it made that turnaround a little bit like slower than it, because we had that happen right in the middle of it all. Yeah, not 3 weeks, sorry, but hopefully soon. I'll see what I can find out. I'll ping somebody and try to get an answer for you guys tomorrow.
Tell them I'm yelling about it. Just tell them I told everybody it's coming out and I'm yelling about it.
Everybody's being really mean to me. They're yelling at me. Now.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll believe
I'm
me,
hungry.
What I can do,
All this food talk in here has made me like super hungry.
The same. I was thinking as soon as we get off this call, I'm going to get food. 2 hours, so we probably could wrap it now. And I can eat all the food like tamales or any steak.
I don't have anything like that at all.
Yeah.
You can get is a Whopper.
Yeah, I can't even get a Whopper. I'm aware. Can you bring me one? I don't have any Whoppers nearby.
That's all I've been talking about. I was like traveling and food. I'm like, damn, food. I'm like, damn, ice cream? I have ice cream in the freezer. But a Whopper, but see, now I have to ask JD, like, how does he order? Like, is it special? Is it like a special, like, is there a special way I have to order this Whopper that's going to taste better? I'm just really hungry.
It must be. I mean, he could order a mean Whopper, therefore he must have a special way to order the mean Whopper, I'm assuming. I'm hungry, really, really hungry, and I have no in this town at all, none. We have no fast food.
That's another takeaway right there. No more AI. Tell them no more AI. We don't like the AI, and we boycott all the AI. That's what they're probably going to do.
I don't think we have any AI coming up.
We have designers. Well, and I know that I think
we might actually. I'm not 100% sure. We might have something AI coming.
Boo. Well, with that,
we'll see.
I'm going to go buy a Whopper, or I'm going to go to Taco Bell because that's closed.
Bring me a Whopper because that's not fair. Everybody gets me out.
Damn, Sonic sounds good too. Oh, wait, it's Wednesday. Damn, I missed their sale. they have like a special on Tuesdays where you get like half price cheeseburgers or something like that.
Oh man, this isn't fair.
It is a snack cast. I'm hungry now. Like that's all it is. Like I'm hungry. I'm like super hungry.
And when you get to that point, you eat a bunch of crap you don't even want. Not fair though. I don't even. I don't have any kind of fast food here. Y'all are just not fair.
Oh.
I like Taco Bell.
Hey, it's like $6.
Like a yogurt or something.
$6 for Taco Bell to get like a bunch of stuff and a drink. They have the Baja Blast. That stuff's good.
Yep.
I can go to Del Taco though too. Del Taco's pretty good.
You have
I'm thinking of something.
That's so unfair.
I live in the city.
Have one and they closed it. They have one here near us and they closed it. There's it's like Noggles. Del Taco and Noggles. It was one or the other. Now
what the hell is Noggles?
I don't know.
What is Noggles?
Don't ask me. I don't know. It was good though. It tasted good. But it was Del Taco.
That sounds made up. That sounds so made up.
It isn't.
Hey, I'm gonna go to Noggles, guys. Like
created. It wasn't my place. I literally though, if I wanted to have to drive like 15, 20 minutes into a big city to get something. So Del Taco's really
Oh, I
good,
agree 100%.
but I haven't had it so long. That's
See, this turned into like food because we're hungry, and I agree with Miss Dila. Del Taco is 100 times better than Taco Bell.
it
Their food
is.
is
It
fresher.
is.
It is fresher. I had their
And
street tacos the other day. They're amazing.
it's been so long
is it
since Del Taco. They closed like a long time ago. Would love to have again. But no,
I'm gonna be a fatty. I already can tell. I'm gonna go and order like way too much food because I'm like like the more I'm talking about, I'm like because there's a Burger King like right there. Like I could be there in like 5 minutes and I can get a Whopper, and they probably have a special. It's like 2 Whoppers for like $5 or something. So I can eat 2 Whoppers, and then after I eat those, I could feel terrible about myself.
Okay, get in the chat and just show us pictures Sarah does, and I can just be jealous because I'm gonna probably do something. So
I don't want anything here because I have like corn dogs. Like,
I love corn dogs. But
oh yeah, no, we have
like
the taco trucks we have here. The line's like ridiculous. Anytime we go to them, or there's always we have a bunch of people who are on the corner and they sell like the Sonoran hot dogs with all the stuff on them. Oh, those are good too. Man.
White is so far away from me. It's probably a 30-minute drive.
Oh, it's 30-minute drive for me too. Maybe I should get White Castle.
It's I have to go in, and then I have to go to the other end of the city to get the belly bombers. Bombers are amazing. I haven't had them in a long time either.
Taco places on the west side of Arizona. I'll have to figure some out. There's a really good German place over there in Glendale. It's authentic. They have big giant Bavarian pretzels. Oh. Yeah, I'm starving.
Find food now. Yeah, you're just making me hungrier.
This is what it turned into.
You say. Well, yeah, I mean, and now I just get to go be sad and cry in my yogurt because I don't have food. Everyone feels sorry for me because I have teardrop yogurt or something. Salty yogurt.
A teardrop yogurt?
Yes, but I'm gonna have. It's gonna be sad. Okay. Well,
collecting calories. That is, yeah.
On that note, basically what happened. Yeah. Are you gonna do your the outro?
I'm gonna do my exit thing. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you can. If you have a Twitter or something, share it on Facebook because I know there's a lot of people on Facebook who probably don't use Twitter because a lot of people hate Twitter. Make sure to tune in next week because, like I said, we are gonna have we'll have Hayden from Pop Culture. As long as nothing changes, if anything changes, I'll make sure to let everybody know. But until next week, later, Quiddiots.
I'm waiting. I was hoping you did. Okay.
hey, they said they liked it. That's what I'm going.
I like it. It was just